That's all we can do. So I'm going to jump straight into this. The headline is correct here. It says Hamas accepts the new ceasefire proposal. Now that does not mean there's ceasefire because Israel still has to accept, and it doesn't sound like they are going to. But I'm going to jump into this real quick and just let him go. It's only a 2.5-minute video, so I'll jump in maybe halfway through or so.
And Minister of Foreign Affairs Mohammed bin Abdurrahman Al Thani in Cairo. In a statement, Egypt's presidency said both leaders stressed the importance of efforts to reach a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. They've also rejected Israel's plan to reoccupy the Strip and forcibly displace Palestinians. They've affirmed that establishing a Palestinian state,
as has the entire world, nobody is okay with Israel's plan except for the United States. And unfortunately, the United States are the only one that matter. So they just get to do whatever they want.
Is the path to peace. Egypt, Qatar, and the US have been mediating ceasefire discussions between Israel and Hamas. Now, that source has told Al Jazeera that they have accepted the terms of the ceasefire proposal presented by mediators on Sunday. Handa Sakut is live person in Amman. She's following the story from Jordan's capital because the Israeli government's banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and in the occupied West Bank. Dara was just saying that
I really like that they drive that home every single time that they bring up where they're reporting from. Just the constant hammering that Israel is silencing journalists, and even though they are obeying that and staying outside of Gaza, or staying outside of Israel and the occupied West Bank, Israel is still killing the journalists that work for Al Jazeera. So take that in. Everyone is following the rules they are laying out, and they're still attacking and killing them because that is their MO.
Tarek was just saying that the speculation in Gaza, that one of the reasons the Israelis haven't mounted their assault on Gaza City yet, is possibly to allow for some sort of negotiation. Are we hearing anything from the Israeli side about this latest announcement?
Well, this news just coming in that Hamas has reportedly agreed to a partial ceasefire proposal. It's worth mentioning that these discussions happening in the Egyptian capital under immense pressure and a lot of scrutiny to try and scramble to get some sort of deal together to stop the fighting. It's worth mentioning that in the last several days in Israeli media, there have been talks of Netanyahu reportedly willing to have some sort of partial deal, meaning not a total and complete end to the war, but
now that would be a switch from what he said previously. He's previously stated that they are no longer interested in any partial deals. There will be no ceasefires. They're just interested in a total end to the war. And of course, I'm using his word when I say war. It is a genocide, and saying it is not or calling it anything else is disingenuous.
a pause in the fighting, saying that he would lean that way if it was in Israel's best interest. But Netanyahu had outlined several different things that he wanted if there were to be an end of the war. And in fact, just around a week ago, he released a list of 5 different bullet points that Israel would need to end the war, that his goals and objectives were no longer 3, that they were 5. And of course, among them was the removal of Hamas, something Hamas says is simply not going to happen. So while all of this is ongoing,
I don't know what they think is going to happen if they get rid of Hamas. Like, you can think what you want about Hamas, but they are the only game in town at this point. I don't know who the other ruling party is going to be, and they've demolished any sort of structure that a governmental party or any sort of group of people could. They've killed too many people and destroyed all the structures in Gaza. So I don't know how they expect any sort of like coalition government or any sort of government at all to come together if they were to allow Palestine to exist. And I think it's because they don't intend to allow Palestine to exist in any way. If they know that the disbanding of Hamas or the destruction of Hamas, or however they want to do it or call it, would leave them totally without any sort of leaders. Hamas is the only group available to step up and run the place if they do ever get some sort of control over it. And that may need to be temporary, depending on whatever their policies end up being and how people end up interacting with them. But like the total destruction of Hamas is ridiculous. That leaves no Palestinian military to defend them, and Israel will just do the exact same thing.
you have members of Netanyahu's government who are against any sort of partial deal, who have said from the very beginning, since the last ceasefire deal collapsed, that there shouldn't be any more partial deals moving forward, that Israel needs to carry on with the expansion of its military.
Yeah, that's what I was quoting.
Reaction, but right now there's still no official response from the Israelis.
Handa, thank you very much indeed. Handa Sahut there, talking to us from Amman.
Yeah, so that's that.